Hey guys, what's up? Today we're about to find out what was the very first JRPG released on every single Sony console, every single PlayStation system. That means I am including TV consoles and portable consoles as well. Alright, let's take a look. While it may be true that the first JRPG released for the PlayStation was From Software's Kingsfield at the end of 1994, fact is, we never got it. That's right, this game was never released outside Japan. Then there was Art the Lad released on June 1995, but again, only in Japan. That is until 2002 when Working Designs localized it along the other 3 games on this collection. Kingsfield 2, released in 1995, was localized as if it was the first Kingsfield ever. It caused a lot of confusion as you can imagine, but oh well, that is the very first JRPG released and localized for the PlayStation. Which means we never got a single RPG during an entire year. Weird, huh? And to be honest, it wasn't exactly a good premiere. Kingsfield 2, a first-person dungeon crawler, was not successful and almost nobody outside Japan gave a damn about it. Brutally hard, the hardest PS1 JRPG ever in my opinion, but definitely not bad for those who are into these kinds of games. In any case, this was the first JRPG we got for the mighty PlayStation. For the PS2, there's Eternal Ring. Once again, From Software takes the ring with its initial release of Eternal Ring. Yet another slow and boring first-person dungeon crawler. Nowhere near as hard as any of the Kingsfield titles, however, instead a friendly approach to the genre and the developer's style. This was a launch title actually, meaning you could buy this game right when the PlayStation 2 was released. Other initial JRPGs were Evergrace, an action RPG also by From Software, and Orphan, Scion of Sorcery. All 3 extremely mediocre games, with nothing special to mention, just titles that were kinda there to continue the PlayStation legacy of role-playing video games. Eternal Ring has gained more fans over the course of time, but there aren't nearly enough people to remember it or even care about it. So yeah, let's move on. PS3, we got Enchanted Arms. Yeah, you guessed it. From Software strikes once again with a launch title for the Xbox 360, now ported to the PlayStation 3 when it was fairly released. Enchanted Arms, however, is nothing to forget about. It's a hidden gem, not exactly underrated, but a nice turn-based RPG with a very unique battle system that grabbed my attention the moment I started playing it. Sure, the story doesn't stand out and the grasp of originality is long gone from other areas, but at least it's 10 times better than all the previous From Software games in this video. Sad to say though, it wasn't very well received and it stayed at the company's shadow for quite a while, until people like me started rescuing it. Truth of the matter is the game failed and obscured the path for other JRPGs on the system, until From Software brought a cult classic to save their asses. Moving on to the PS4, yeah, the first one was Final Fantasy XIV, but that's an MMORPG so that doesn't count. Real first JRPG was Natural Doctrine. With a console that's still releasing JRPGs nowadays, I was very curious to find out which one had been the first on the system. Natural Doctrine was originally planned for the PlayStation 4, but it was first released on the PS3 and the PS Vita. By far, one of the hardest strategy RPGs ever made, and one confusing hellhole that no matter how much I tried, I never managed to get into. For this to be one of the very few JRPGs on the PS4 during 2014 was such a disgrace. Again, Sony let us down with a title that was just not worth our money. It was just a damn mess of a game and nobody wanted to play it since the PS3 era. It was too difficult and hard to get into, even for Japanese players, who were the first one to complain about it. Fortunately, they added an easy mode on July 2014, so more gamers could start from a careful distance. Natural Doctrine was supposed to be a launch title, but it got delayed for some reason. I wish it could have been delayed forever, so we could have gotten a much better RPG instead as a first to the PlayStation 4. Alright, now to the portable consoles, the PSP. Yeah, well, the reason I'm putting both games as the first JRPGs released and localized for the PSP is because the localization was yet another mess. They're both Falcom RPGs of their nowadays popular franchise The Legend of Heroes, also part of a saga called the Gagar Trilogy. Prophecy of the Moonlight Witch was the first one released on September 16, 2004 in Japan, but we didn't get it until June 20, 2006, almost 2 years after its original release. Wanna know what happened in between? A Tear of Vermilion, which was the second one, but North America got it as the first one, hence the name The Legend of Heroes 2 on Prophecy of the Moonlight Witch. Whew. Vermilion was originally released in Japan on June 2, 2005. On November of the same year, Bandai localized it to North America. Yup, what a mess. But anyway, these two games were originally computer RPGs from 1996, released 2 years later for the PlayStation. Of course, we never got any versions until the PSP arrived. They screwed up the localization, not only with the dates, mind you, but also with the horrible translation. But hey, at least we got them. And just for the curious mind, Kingdom of Paradise, an action RPG, was localized and published the exact same day as Vermilion. Last but not least, the PS Vita with Ragnarok Odyssey. Based on the popular MMORPG Ragnarok Online, this great spin-off came to introduce Japanese role-playing games to the Vita players in the West. We got it in North America until October 2012, but that's okay. It plays similar to the Monster Hunter series, but much faster and more anime-styled. There is a story, of course, but it's a quest-driven action RPG that notoriously focuses on its gameplay mechanics. It was also meant to be played online, but the offline mode was just as great. It's not exactly a launch title, nor is it a first JRPG release on the West to be proud of, but it was quite decent and many people overlooked it. It was also released on the PS3, by the way, the same date. This game was enhanced 1 year later, also on both systems, released as Ragnarok Odyssey Ace. And that's the version that everybody interested in this game should get. Regardless, the original left a solid impression on me, as I realized that not all launch JRPGs are mediocre. Alas, this title is no masterpiece either, so I guess the first JRPG on every single PlayStation console is nothing to be that proud of. Anyway, another note for the curious mind is that Disgaea 3 was released and localized before Ragnarok Odyssey, but that was just a port. Natural Doctrine and Ragnarok were not ports since they were originally developed for the PS4 and the PS Vita, respectively. Disgaea 3 could be argued as being the very first JRPG we got on the Vita, being a real launch title as a matter of fact, but like I said, it's just a port. Hell, not even that, it's just a re-release. But anyway, it's a solid strategy RPG, a good title. Some people might say it's even better than Ragnarok Odyssey as a first JRPG for the console, but that's just a matter of opinions. In the end, up to you whether you consider this game as the very first JRPG for the PS Vita or not. Well, that was interesting. From Software owning half of this entire list. Wow, I'm very curious to find out why these guys are so eager to put up new games or new JRPGs on every single console at the very beginning of their lifespan. That's really interesting, but anyway, if you guys know something about it, please feel free to share it on the comment section below. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time!